Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Monday Morning Miracle Call. Today is Monday, February 2nd, 2026. Happy Groundhog Day. Um, and my name is Michelle Niels. I am in Fort Collins, Colorado, and I'm one of four hosts for these calls. And I'm so happy to be with all of you. Love seeing your faces every Monday. So, the purpose of these calls, for those of you who are brand new, and there might be a few, is we share our stories, we share our testimonials, and we absolutely love these patches. Most of us say we're lifers. I'm definitely a lifer. I've been using the patches 6.5 years, and we just love to share our stories because your story may just uplift someone else. It may be just the thing someone else needs to hear. So let's bless each other. Let's bless this community and let's share these amazing stories of what these patches can do, which we call it a miracle call, but actually this is science. There is heavy duty science backing up these patches. And that David is all about the science. So we're going to start off this call for the first 15 minutes and talk about just the X39. Okay. That is the patch of patches. That's the one that we start with, stay with for the rest of our lives. And there's so much that the X39 can do that most of us start the first 90 days just with the X39, and then we slowly add on other patches. So let's limit the first 15 minutes to shares about the X39, and then we will move to the other wonderful patches in the LifeWave patch family. And let's limit our shares to a minute or less, please, because we have a lot of people. How many do we have on the call? We're up to 60 something. We usually are up around 100. So pretty soon we'll be getting towards 100. So let's be bold and be brave and raise our hands. At the bottom of your screen, there's a react button, and you just click raise your hand. We would love to hear from every one of you, and especially the new people. I'm so glad Jerry raised her hand. That's what we hostesses do for each other. We kind of help each other out because we know how it is to be a host and nobody's raising their hand. So thank you, Jerry. I just want to give one other housekeeping rule. The LifeWave patches do not claim to diagnose, treat, heal, prevent any disease. Okay, so we're not going to name diseases. We are only going to name symptoms. Okay, stick with symptoms. And if you've been on these calls before, you know that. And if you're new, that you may not have heard that. So we want to remain compliant. So let's talk about how we felt before, which patch we used, and then how we felt afterward, how long it took. So we're going to start the ball rolling with Miss Jerry, my dear fellow hostess in Florida. So go ahead, Jerry, unmute.
Thank you, Michelle, and hello to everyone. And yes, we want all you newbies putting your hands up. And also, along with our X39 this morning, we add in the Celergi supplement that David invented because we've
That's
had
right.
such great results with the two of them together. So please,
That's
if you're
right.
using the Celergi, speak out about that. What I'm going to start the morning with is I had a person I had just met at a meeting, and we were talking. I did put an X39 on her, and she immediately felt results. She didn't know what was happening, but then she started to think it was a placebo effect. She wasn't sure. And she has kept in touch with me, and I think it's over a month now. And this lady has told me that in the first 2 days, her life was just a miracle because she has so much wrong with her. So please reach out to those people that you're with. Open the mouth, just talk. Don't be boring. Don't shout out and just say, hey, I have something that you might be interested in. I'm hearing what you're telling me. Are you open? So, anyways, thank you so much, Michelle. You look lovely and keep warm out
Thank
there.
you. Thank you, Jerry. I want to add to what Jerry said. Gregory Mascari says the patches can do just about anything except walk and talk. So that's our job. Okay, so let's open our mouths and share. All right, Ravel. Hello, Ravel, up in the Canuck country, Canada.
Hi, Michelle. Hi, everyone. It's
Hi.
great to be here. What a wonderful way to start a week. I'm just sitting here sipping my Celergize with an X39 in the back of my neck. And I wanted to share a testimonial a friend of mine in the Midwest shared, I think it was Saturday night. It was about 3.5 years ago that a mutual friend of ours in Florida recommended the patch to her. That's the PC Plus 3 and Free program. Anyway, she had a lot of reluctance And then she had, that issue where half of your body is numb. Anyway, I really strongly recommended that she use X39. And she just told me, I guess it's now 3.5 years that she's been on X39, that her heart doctor told her, she said to her cardiologist, I think that this is really doing wonders for me and my cat. And her heart doctor said, yes, it is. So just wanted to
Ah, well,
share.
you mentioned a cat, so is she putting her used patch on her cats, Ravel? Nice. Beautiful. All right. Thank you, Ravel. And Jonathan, hello. One of the
Good
most
morning.
beautiful smiles in our community is
Oh,
Jonathan.
thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me?
I can. Yep.
So since we're only talking about the X39, that was my beginning with LifeWave. I didn't believe it. It's been over 6 years. I started January 15th with LifeWave. And when I first heard about it, I was just very skeptical because my background is in the medical field. And I said, a Band-Aid can do what? I called it a Band-Aid. So I gave it a 8 week trial period. And I said, I'm going to let my cardiologist take me off, tell me what's going on. So during the 8 weeks, I had to take my blood pressure medicine every day because you don't stop taking your medicine. You
Mhm.
notice the things that's going on with you. You pay attention, but you continue taking your medicine. Well, I had to ease off of it because during the 8 weeks of taking my medication and wearing the X39, my blood pressure dropped.
Yes.
So 8 weeks, I ran to my doctor for my appointment and I forgot to take my medication that morning. He ran the test on me, checked my blood pressure. He comes in, he says, Mr. Beal, he said, all your tests went really well. He said, and oh, your blood pressure. I'm like, oh no, it's high. He's about to give me more medicine. He said, it's better than it's ever been since you come to see me. What are you doing different? I bent over and showed him my photobiomodulation patch. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I got it. So anyway, he said that if it's doing that for you, there's no sense in you taking your medication. I've been off of it for 6 years. Praise God for
Praise
X39.
God. Amen.
Thank you.
Hallelujah.
Thank
Oh,
you.
I love it, Jonathan. I'm going to add one little story to that before we bring Lavelle on. So I have a customer in California. She's 80, and same thing. She was on the X39 for a couple months, so about like Jonathan, 8 weeks. And I was talking to her. I said, "How's it going?" Well, she says, "My hip pain is better. I'm steadier on my feet." She says, "But Michelle, every time I stand up, I feel dizzy." I said, "Judy, are you on blood pressure medicine by chance?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Go get checked." And she did. And she was on two different meds, and she was taken off one completely, and the other one was greatly reduced. So yay. Amen. Thanks, Jonathan. Okay. Lavelle or Ina Majay? Who is
Good
it?
morning, good morning, good morning.
Good
Okay,
morning.
so like Jonathan, I've been on the patches now over 6 years. But let me just share when I first got started. Okay, let me back up. When I was 16 years old, I actually had a first degree black belt in martial arts. And
Wow.
I used to run 5 miles every morning and 3 miles at night because I used to actually teach about 100 students when I was only 16 years old. But running on the pavement isn't good for you, right, Michelle?
That's
So
right.
six
That's
years
right.
ago, I'm 66. I'm 66 now. So 6 years ago, I was 60 years old, and I would wake up and I would say, "Babe," I would tell my wife, "Babe, my knee hurts. Oh my goodness, my knee hurts." So I put the X39 on, and in 30 days, Michelle, all that pain went away. All that pain, and it's never come back. And it's six
Mm-mm.
and a half years late. It's about 6.5 years now. But when people say, "Well, I don't know if it's working for you," let me tell you this other quick story. I was at a Martin Luther King breakfast, and there was about 500 people there. And when I first got started, I didn't really understand the technology. And so I had a whole sleeve of X39s in my breast pocket of my blazer that I had on. And I was walking around, Michelle, and I was
I
saying,
know what's going to happen. I know the punchline.
I was like, what is this? I didn't understand the technology. I was like, what this. I felt euphoria. It's like, what is this? But now that I know the technology, I was activating all 30 patches.
All 30 patches.
And I had so much energy. My wife said I was sweating. I was like, so when people say, well, I don't know if it's working, it's a couple more patches. And then and if you want to walk around with 30 patches, you don't need it, but you'll know
Goodness
that it's
gracious.
working then. Thanks
That's
so
a
much
good
for
one.
letting me share. Thanks
Thanks,
for letting me share.
Lavelle.
All right.
Yes. So for people who are new, and we would love to hear from you, by the way. Raise your hand. We'd love to welcome you. Yes, the patches work when they are within 3 inches of the body. Okay. So a woman in her handbag, purse, whatever, a guy in his, his back pocket, whatever. The patches are working, within about that close to the body. So you want to be aware of that. Don't like I've often given patches to someone and they'll say, "Oh, I'll put this on later," and they stick it in a pocket. I say, "Ah, you're using it now." So, yes, very good. Thanks, Lavelle. Is it Jan?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Jan.
Hi. I wanted to share that my cousin, who I hadn't seen for a long time, uh, I don't see her too often, but we were at a reunion. I noticed she had a wig on. And a little bit later, we lived in different states at the time. When I just called her up and I said, I found out she just had been, her hair had been thinning. So and then also found out she had to wear compression socks all the time. And she lives in California, so that gets pretty hot in her area where she lived. So I said, "Oh my goodness, you need to know about X39." So I sent her some and she started using them. And I checked back with her later and she said her hairdresser noticed new growths in her hair and her hair was growing. And then she didn't have to wear compression socks anymore. And the pain in her legs was gone. And it's been 3 years now and her hair is really long. And
Really, that's beautiful.
full, and yeah, she doesn't wear compression socks anymore. So, yay.
Oh, beautiful, wonderful share. Thank you, Jan.
You're very
Yay,
welcome.
yay. And we have Miss Jerry back. Yay. Hi, Jerry. Come
Just
back
coming
on.
to support you, dear.
Thank you, dear.
I just want to throw out a couple other things that we know about and everything. And one, I want to make sure everybody knows to hydrate. You want to be drinking that water. Rule of thumb, 50% of your body weight in ounces, gives the optimum results with these patches. But I want to throw this out there to people that my dad he started when he was 94 and had 4 wonderful years with the patches. And even when David was inventing them, he thought, people 60, 70, maybe a little older would benefit. Well, no matter what age that your friends and relatives and acquaintances are, introduce them to it because it may help them. My dad really had great life. As a matter of one of the things was that his cardiologist had told me his heart was better than when they put the pacemaker in 8 years before. So that's saying something about your cardiovascular system, which we know it improves. So just be consistent too. Every day. It's every day. You hear us. We're all lifers. We're all lifers that know what's going on here because it's just such a wonderful thing that David has done for us. And yeah, I'll shout out to those furry friends again. I've used it on mine and got great results with all their different things wrong. And just put it on the bottom of their collar underneath or put a bandana.
Yep.
But one thing don't do, one of my new people, little dachshund, put it on the belly. Could not get the patch off. Could not. So, be careful where you're putting them on the animal because I had a bigger dog that I figured, well, I'll just put it on the skin because it wasn't staying on the fur.
Right.
And it wasn't coming off. And it was like tough love. And how they say rip the Band-Aid off?
Oh no.
Well,
did the dog
did, and his eyes like popped out at me.
Good advice, Jerry. Yes, put it on. And this is another thing. Jerry brought up a good point. So when you put it on your animal inside of the collar, and it doesn't matter which way the patch is facing. Okay. So when it's on the inside of the collar, then the quote backside of the patch is facing the animal's body. And that it doesn't matter which way the patch faces. So there's so many stories about animals. And when people say, I think it's a placebo, I say, well, there was a doctor I worked with once, and he said, I'm feeling better, but I think it's a placebo. And I brought up the animals. I said, Doctor, do animals have a placebo effect? He said, no. I said, and then he says, I'll keep doing this.
And then real quick, we think of our cats and our dogs and our cow, like Nancy talked about Betsy, the cow, Betty. But do you remember, I don't know, years ago, the lady came on and put the X39 on the fish tank and had results?
That was Helen.
Okay.
Maybe
So I
Helen
still
will maybe
remember the
Helen will
fish
speak
tank.
up. The fish story. That's a fish story. Yeah, right. It really happened.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thanks, Jerry. Okay, Norma, and then Mike.
Hello. I am going to share a part of my story I've never shared. I've been on the patches for just under 2 years. And when I started the patches, I had almost no brain function. I was so depressed. I had no motivation. Getting on the patches, I had no expectations. I had been suffering from complex PTSD all through my childhood and adulthood and never got beyond it, didn't like meds, never stayed on them. Got a lot of 50 years of counseling. The patches, oh my goodness. I didn't notice anything for 3 weeks, but in my third week, this inexplicable joy hit me because I was wearing the Eon as well as the X39. And
Mhm.
I just, I was shocked that my brain lit up. I was able to think with executive function. I mean, I was able to plan things, execute things, because I had a big event coming up that I had offered to do and didn't know how I was going to do it. And I prayed about it, and that's when I found out about the patches. So, prayer and patches, I pulled it off, and people were shocked, amazed.
Mhm.
At 75, I feel more like I'm 35, and I'm just so thankful.
Wow, Norma, thank you. You have many wonderful stories. I've heard your stories. You could write a small book.
Probably.
Thank
Thank
you. Thank
you.
you, Norma. Mike, before you come on, I'm just going to say we are past the 15-minute mark, so we can talk about other patches. And I have to share, I have a customer, and I just got this text from her this morning. She is, I think she's in her 50s. She's younger than I, so I believe she's in her early 50s. She's been having issues with sleep, and I suggested she start on Eon. She was on X39 for a couple of months. This is the text I just got this morning. Hallelujah. I've started the Eon patches, and the last 2 nights I have slept. Nothing short of a Christmas miracle. So, yay, yay, yay for all the patches. Before X39 came on the scene, the Eon was the most popular patch, was the biggest seller. So a lot of times we will pair those two together, as Anne Moreau shared on Doc Talk last night. The Eon is great for inflammation, and it's like when you have a fire in a house, you need to take care of the fire first. And Eon is very good at that. All right, Mike, and then Darlene.
So I used to have a lot of problem with my wrist and my thumb joint. Squeezing something, trying to open a lid, and squeezing an orange or juice of lemon or something was really difficult. So I used to have to go in and I would get injections in my wrist and in my thumb joint every 4 months. And so I had an injection the month before I started wearing the X39. And when it came up time for my 4 month mark to get the injection, I thought, this isn't really hurting that bad. I think I'm going to not go this month and see how it goes. Well, it was a year and a half ago.
Haven't been back, huh?
I haven't had one since.
Oh, Mike, that's beautiful. Yay. Our bodies are the miracle, everyone. That's how we were made. Our bodies are the miracle. And David found that key to help our bodies do what they can do best. All right. Thank you. Darlene,
Good morning.
good morning.
Since we were talking about placebo effect, I have a really good story that can prove it's not a placebo. I am very much into plants. I have lots of house plants. I've got a greenhouse, and I'm usually pretty good about not killing plants. But I had gotten a plant and it was down to about 2 leaves, wasn't doing well. And I thought, I can't let this plant die. and I took 3 used X39s and laid it on the top of the soil. And that plant is absolutely gorgeous right now.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I have one of those kind of sick plants at my office. I'm going to do that, Darlene. So you took a used patch. For those of people who are new, the
Yep.
patches are worn for 12 hours and then you take a break. Don't, take it off for 12 hours. So you took three of your used ones and just laid them on the top of the soil. And how long? I mean, did
Yes.
you leave them there? Did you do the 12 hours on and 12 hours off or what? What did you do in terms of?
I left them for like a day, and then I put three more used ones on,
Used
and
one?
I did it 3 or 4 times, and that plant just came back, and it's
Oh my God.
absolutely beautiful.
Oh
And
my God.
and my daughter had gotten a plant when we lost my granddaughter, and it was just about dead too. And I did not think I could revive that one, but it came back and it's doing well also.
I love that. I love plants too. So good. Thank you. The plant whisperer, Darlene. Okay, Lavelle, come on back. And then we have Roxanne.
So I was at an event, a church event where they had a women's event, and I set up a table. And what happened is the minister was walking out. I could tell he must have been the pastor, right? And I said, I just said, "Hey, how you doing? Are you the minister?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm the pastor of this church." And I said, "Can I share something with you?" And he said, "What's that?" I said, "Do you have any kind of pain or anything like that?" Because that was my story initially. And he said, "Yeah, yeah." I said, "Here, let me put this on you." He said, "Oh, what you doing? What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, you look, it can help you relieve some pain, but if you don't like it, just take it on." So put X39 on his point of pain, and I put the energy patches on him. Okay, because sometimes pain is just blockage. And what happened is he calls me up on Monday morning. This was on a Saturday. He calls me up on Monday morning. He said, "What did you put on me?"
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
No, I
Okay.
lost you for a second.
He said, "What did you put on me?" I said, "Well, it's a new technology and it helps balance out your body." He said, "I need more of that because for the first time in years, I can sleep on my other side, on my left side. I haven't been able to do that in years." And I said, "Okay, well, we can enroll you if you like. And then you'll have, no, 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 I want it today." So we met for lunch. He took my wife and I out to lunch and he ordered the advance pack. And he introduced it to his church. Can you still hear me, Michelle?
I can.
We
I
hear
think
you.
we can all hear you, Lavelle. I think it looks like Michelle's frozen.
Was it
Lavelle, why
me?
don't you talk? Yeah, I can hear you, Lavelle.
Okay. Well, what it was is, did you hear that I put the X39 and the energy enhancers on them?
Yes, we heard your whole story. I think Michelle just froze up. So yeah, you can just continue. I'll wait till she
Nope.
comes back on.
Well,
Go ahead.
anyway, he called me on Monday morning and he wanted some more patches, and I said, I'll enroll you." He said, "No, no, no, I want some patches today." So I said, "Well, I have some here at the house." We met for lunch. He took my wife and I out to a nice restaurant, and he enrolled with the $500 package. And then he
Great.
introduced me to his church, and then we got a number of people enrolled from his church. Thanks so much
Yeah.
for letting me share that story.
Thank you so much, Lavelle. And that's why we want to open up and talk with people. See the people that we can help. It's just amazing. So Roxanne, please unmute and keep us going here.
Hi, everyone. I'm Roxanne. I'm in Sarasota, Florida. Last year, I had a slip and fall in my shower. I started to clean the tiles after I had showered, and I went flying backwards, landed on my um, tailbone, and when I fell, I hit my right elbow on the corner of the bathtub. Anyways, long story longer. I wallpapered the heck out of my elbow because there was severe swelling from that elbow. Patched my low back. I used everything that I had, and probably 2 or 3 of each. X3949, Eon, glutathione, carnosine. And the only patch that I didn't have was Ice Wave, but I had some left over from AccuLife from my dog after he passed away. And so I even patched with a couple of those. So that was a Friday when that happened. And thankfully no broken bones, because I do have a history of bilateral total hips. So luckily nothing broken. Come Monday morning, and I had patched, and I had gradually used less and less patches during the days. Come Monday, the swelling in my elbow was nearly gone, and I had 0 pain.
Right. Wonderful. And if you all heard, Roxanne wallpapered. That's a new term you might have not heard, but when we get really hurt or do something really nasty, we just put all those patches on and we get great results. Okay,
Hey,
we're
Jerry.
coming down to the thing.
Jerry,
You got
I'm
it now?
back. I'm back.
Okay, go ahead.
I
Just
do
step in.
not know what happened. I apologize. My internet just
Yeah.
died.
Well, that's okay. I
So
jumped
thank
in.
you. I knew someone would take over, either Jerry or Amy. So thank you. So has Mike spoken, or I see his hand?
Mara is next. And you have
Mara.
3, and then we're at the bottom of the hour. So
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jerry. All right.
Sure.
So Mara, then Dennis, and then we'll end with Solomon. Okay. Thank
Oh,
you.
don't forget Mike. You have 4 there.
Okay. Okay,
Whoops.
Mike.
Whoops. I don't know where he went now.
Mike?
That's okay. We don't have a lot
Okay.
of time. Maybe he'll jump back in.
Yeah, we are close to the bottom of the hour. Okay, Mara, please go ahead. Unmute.
So this is a really great testimony. I'm so excited to tell you. So I have a client, and she's going to be 89 in a couple weeks, and she's actually a brand partner, and she has a major infection. I was at her house on Saturday, and I called the visiting nurse, and he said, get her to the emergency room ASAP. And I did, and I kind of had a feeling. I knew what the infection was, severe bacterial infection. And my mother's had it twice before, so I was familiar. So they got her on antibiotics, brought her home, and I put an X39 Eon on her foot where the infection was. She's got some wounds there as well. And yesterday, when I went back to her house, believe it or not, within 24 hours, the inflammation and her foot was so inflamed had decreased. And 24 hours. And she even said she had less pain. My 2 favorite, and everybody knows, especially Dr. Tom, are X39 and Eon. Yeah. And she looked and she said, and she's been on the patches for maybe 3 years. She looked and she said, oh my God, Mara, the inflammation is decreasing. And I'm like, yep, life waiver forever. And she's going to be forever. So
Beautiful.
I am absolutely thrilled.
How old is this person, did you say?
89 on February 15th.
89. Oh my goodness. Okay. Make notes, everybody.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
these patches.
Patches, Mara. Just keep patching me.
Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to ask everyone to be very mindful of the time, okay? So let's keep our shares to a minute or less, okay? So Dennis, Solomon, and Mike. We're going to end with Mike. Go ahead, Dennis.
Okay, are you ready to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Just a couple things really quick. I often use the patch from the day before, you know, to double patch the next day, because we all know they've got a little juice left in them. But I've also found that when you try to use a used patch, it doesn't stick on so good. So what I use is the 2-inch wide clear packing tape. Just zip off a piece about 5 or 6 inches long, stick it in the middle. Boy, it'll stay on there all day long. So that's one of my little tips of the day. Yeah, it works really good. And then when it comes to being hydrated, I know how important that. I've always hydrated well, but here in Las Vegas, the tap water is terrible. So you have to buy. Can you still hear me? I'm getting an error on my screen.
I can hear you, Dennis.
Okay, good.
Yes.
So anyway, so you got to buy bottled water or have a water filter. At any rate, I buy water by the gallon now from Costco. At Costco, they sell a 6-pack of gallons for $5.49. Unbelievable. So it's way less expensive than buying all the little bottles. And I just refill larger bottles here at home. But that's a pretty good deal. $5.49 for 6 gallons. So those are my 2 tips of the day.
Tips from Dennis.
The clear packing tape and economical drinking water.
Thank you. Thank you, Dennis.
Have a good day.
Yes, thank you. You as well. So yeah, just on the non-stickiness of the patch the next day, you can also use a Band-Aid, or I sometimes use medical tape. So there's lots of options. All right, Solomon, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. I just discovered from the third day starting using S39, S46, SP6, my sight started getting better, and right now I don't even use my glasses again because I was at the movie yesterday. I was looking at the screen with my glasses, and then when I took my glasses off, I could see clearer and better than using my glasses. And also, I've got my brother sign up in UK. The second day he called me, was screaming like I can feel myself, like I'm alive. And he's the last person that want to join me in any business. He said, no, I'm not just using this. He's giving me so many names, like you need to talk to this person, talk to this person. Like it's amazing. Thank you so much.
Solomon, what did your brother say that he felt? He said, I can feel.
It felt like it said, it was able to sleep better. And he said it feels like, wow, he's going through some detoxification where he just noticed that he's feeling himself.
He's feeling like himself. Yeah.
Like himself, like
Beautiful.
In a long time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Solomon. Beautiful. Come back again. I know you have lots more to share. We'll hear from you again another time.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mike, closing out with you. Go ahead, unmute.
So last week I was working on a project and I accidentally smashed my thumb. And within about an hour, I had a big blue bruise on it. So I took a Band-Aid, stuck a X39 on there. It was actually a used one, stuck it on there and left it on overnight. And by morning, most of that was gone. I did it one more time the next day, and all the bruising and the soreness was gone.
Beautiful. Excellent for that kind of thing. Now, don't go banging your thumbs, everybody, but man, I've done a few things to my hands and thumbs too. And the X39, just within a matter of hours or days, pain and swelling and bruising gone. Thank you, Mike.
The only thing is I wish I had taken a picture of it before.
Yeah.
Had a before and after.
I know. We got to remember that. You got to remember those pictures.
It's not worth smashing my thumb again just for a photo.
No, definitely not. Ravel put a message in the chat that David Schmidt has a LifeWave Product Connect this Wednesday, and the topic is X39. Okay, back to basics, guys. So definitely remember to sign up for that LifeWave Product Connect this Wednesday. And that would be in your email from LifeWave Corporate. So that brings our call to a wrap. And I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Just keep on doing your wonderful patching and share your stories with everyone. And tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific at liveyoungerzoom.com, there is the Live Younger community call with Robin and Gregory. So hope to see you guys there. And thank you all for being here today. We couldn't do this call without you. So much love. And I think you guys, I don't know how to unmute everybody, Liz, if you want to.
Thank
you.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry, for
Have a
sitting
great
in.
day. Have a great
Bye,
day.
Jonathan.
Great job, Michelle.
Thank you, everyone. God bless you.
Have a good one.
Great
Have a
day.
blessed day.
Okay. everybody.
Have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.